Well, hi, and welcome back to Grandma Roseanne's, and we're going to do something really cool today. We're going to make strawberry jam. Now, this is strawberry season in our area, and I have made so many pints of it already, and then I went, what? Why wasn't I teaching you how to make it? Because it's absolutely fantastic and it's so easy. So I have a small batch left here. Now, these are not strawberries from my garden because they're not ready yet. They're not producing. Plus, they're pretty much still babies, so there's going to be enough for my grandkids to eat, but there's not going to be enough to really, do anything more than maybe a pie with them. So what I did is I went out and bought strawberries. Right now they're on sale. They are so incredibly inexpensive. So a small batch, I think is just a nice comfortable batch to work with. So what I have done is I have 3 pounds of strawberries that I have cored and cut into chunks, and then 1 Granny Smith apple that I have shredded. Now the apple is going to give you the natural pectin because you're not using any pectin in here. So it's really cool. So all you do is dump it into a decent size pan. You want to understand that this is going to be boiling. So what you're going to want to do, get your little leaves out of there. What you want to do is have enough room in there so this bugger doesn't boil over, because boy, would that be a mess. Then we're going to mash them down. Now, do you have to do this? No. If you would like to stand at the stove a really long time, you can do that too. I would prefer to mash them down simply because the cooking time is going to lessen considerably. Now, in this batch right here, with 3 pounds of strawberries, you're going to put in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Please do not use lemons from your tree. I have a prolific lemon tree out there that gives us an abundance of lemons, but your pH factor is not consistent. Here it is, and that's going to be really important for you. So do not use fresh, use jarred. 1, 2. I'm just going to mix that up just a little bit. We're going to add 3 cups of sugar. Okay? Now, cameraman helped me yesterday, and he went out and he filled up my my canisters here. Thank goodness I stuck my finger in and tasted it, because he filled it with salt. Would not have been good. So we have done it correctly, and now it is filled with sugar. Okay? I'm going to mess that up a little bit as well. This, I don't know if you have a masher like this. Let me show you. Can you see that? It really, get the stuff off of it. It really is a good masher. I got this from Amazon. It's very inexpensive, like maybe $10 or something. But I use it for anything. If I'm going to mash bananas, because I'm going to be making banana nut bread, or if I have pinto beans and I want mashed refried beans, or if I'm doing something with black beans. This is so simple to use. And you can use it for your strawberries as well. Now, what I'm showing you here is strawberry jam. Same portions, same cooking time, same everything for any of your berries. So if it's blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, golden raspberries, whatever you have, it's going to be exactly the same. All right? Now that is done. So now we're going to go to the stove. Now what you have to do, what you want to do, you don't have to do anything, but what you want to do is you want to put that on high, simply because what it's going to do, it's going to start cooking and bubbling. You cannot walk away from this. This is not the time to go check your emails, or it's not the time to get on a phone conversation that's going to take too long, because this can boil over, and boy, I'm telling you, you would have a mess second to none if that happened. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to bring it up to a boil, and then it's going to boil for 20 minutes, okay? We know that we're at the right spot on boiling when it hits 217 to 220 degrees. And I'm using just a thermometer to make sure I'm right there. The other way to check it, and a good way, it's kind of a double check system. Before I ever get started with this, what did I do with it? Oh, here's the plate, okay? You're gonna put it in the freezer. And I'm going to show you how to use that plate to make absolutely sure that your jam has got enough of the natural pectin in it that it's going to set up. Yeah, every once in a while you get a little leaf in there. So what I'm going to do is I will stop for now. I'll bring it up to a full boil because it's going to take a little bit of time, but I want you to see what it's doing when it gets to that full boil, because the very first time I did it was kind of scary. I went, oh my God, what's going on here? But it's normal. So I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we're at that rolling boil stage, or just about to that. So I want you to come in close and take a look at this. Do you see how it's really starting to bubble up on the sides? Not quite over here yet, but it's not going to be very long, and this entire pot will just be coming up to about as high as this. So this is why you don't walk away from it, because from this stage to another, I don't know, another 3 minutes, this thing can just kind of explode on you. Now, a rolling boil is when you really cannot stop the boil by doing this. You're stirring and it's still boiling. Do you see that? So this is important that it's at a rolling boil, because what we're going to do now is we're going to do this for 20 minutes. So I want to time it now. Alexa, time 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so now we have the timer going. We have the rolling boil going. We are stirring constantly so we don't have a problem. And over here, I have got water that is boiling, and I've got the jars I'm going to use in here. Now, the reason we're doing this is not to sterilize the jar, because if you're going to do a water bath and you're going to have it under water, boiling water for over 10 minutes, you don't need to sterilize the jars. But you don't want to put something boiling into a cold jar. You do have the potential of cracking that jar. So basically all we're doing over here is just heating up the jar. That's all we're doing. Now, I'm going to do this for 10 minutes. It's going to really, really advance as far as what it's going to do with the foam and coming up and boiling over. Now, recipes tell you that as soon as this has finished cooking, you'll want to take a spoon and skim off the foam that's at the top. The foam doesn't affect the taste of the jelly. It's just not as clear. I don't know why, but not one of my jars had any foam on it, so I didn't have to do anything off. Now come and look. This is where it's getting very aggressive. You see what it's doing? Now this is going to be throughout this whole thing. So this is why you want to stay right here, and what you're doing now is you're just reducing that, okay? You're not going to let it boil over. Now what I have to do is wait probably for another, I don't know, maybe 13 minutes, 14, 15, whatever, I don't know how long. Alexa will tell us. And then I'll come back and I'll show you the last stage of this. But it's so easy. It's so incredibly easy. So I'll be back. All right, well, we are really to a thickening stage of the jam, but we're not to temperature yet. So what I want to do is start getting the jars ready. Now, they have been boiling in here. They didn't have to boil, but they did, and that's okay too, because what we're going to do now is just get them out of the water and let them dry a little bit. You want to be very, very careful, because this is really scalding hot water. Now, it's like anything else. You guys can get less expensive things, or spend a couple dollars more and get something that's really going to work. These are spring activated. They're not going to slip. Nothing is going to fall from that grip. And when you're working with boiling water and boiling sugar, you really want to have the best that you can have there. For God's sake, do not try to use tongs. They absolutely will not work, and they're very dangerous for you to try to use. So now I'm just getting these jars out. I'm turning them upside down just so they'll drip dry a little bit. And see how close we are. Okay, we're getting very, very close. So now I'm going to show you the other method along with this. You can use either one to let you know that your jam is ready. So you have your frozen plate, and all you're going to do is take a little bit of your jam, put it on your plate, put it back in the freezer for 2 minutes. And then I will show you how to tell whether you are right. It takes a little bit of time, but you know what? You're going to have a really fine product, and you're going to have something that tastes like berries that you picked right out of your garden, and you're going to have them all year long. So if it just takes a little bit of time, that's all. You know, a little bit of time is okay. And it's also about enjoying the process. And I love it. My grandkids came over yesterday. It was Mother's Day. And they came over, and for them to sit there and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, because that's what they wanted, and eat the jam that I had made and love it was amazing. And can I show you this? Come over here. Let me just show you, because this was so cute. And we have to wait till this gets up to temperature anyway. This is from my oldest son. This is from Michael. I love you, Grandma Roseanne. And on this card, I love you was written 4 times. That's a lot of love. You are the very best ever. Thank you for being an awesome grandma. This is from my 6-year-old. This is Matthew. And he was really impressed with my muscles, because this is my arm, but oh my goodness, look at my muscles. Love, Matthew. And this is Maverick. He's the little guy. He's 4 years old. And he brought me a bouquet of flowers here. So he said, look, Grandma, I made you flowers. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. Well, I'm not sure where the 5th one came in, but I love having stuff like that. When you have refrigerator art from the grandchildren, it is the best ever. All righty, I think we're just about there. We take one more look at this, and then we will check the temperature. We'll check the one that we put in the freezer. All right. It went to 215, and it's been 2 minutes here. So let's check this. Now, this is what you're looking for. You want to be able to run your finger through the jam. And if you can leave that trail, your jam is ready. If it all flowed together like that, your jam is not ready. But our jam is ready. Thermometers will vary. And yesterday when I did this, I could not get to 117 or to 217 on this thermometer. I got to 215 where I am today. So sometimes it's about your thermometers too. So I love having the double system here. So what I'm going to do is just shut this off now, and we are going to can. I hope you have one of these. It makes life so simple, and it's usually pretty standard if you're buying any kind of canning equipment. It generally will come with all of it. Now we're just going to ladle in, and this is why we want to make sure that we have hot jars that we're working with so it doesn't crack. What you want to do is leave enough head space there, and I'll show you where that head space should be. Right there, right to this jar, right to that line. So that's one. That's perfect. Alrighty. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that the rim is clean, because you want to have a good seal. If you don't have a good seal, you're not going to be able to store this. So this is just vinegar. And you want to go around the edge. Make sure you've got it all clean. Remove air bubbles. And this is the way you do it. Super simple. Now then, And you want these just fingertip tight. You don't want them too tight. You need to let some of that air escape. Then we will put these in here for 10 minutes. And we are done. Okay, we bring it up to a boil. Cleaned up, looking good, and I will show you a finished product, okay? All right, well, we have completed the process, and it didn't take us all that long, and we have got amazing product right here. So I have pulled these out of the canner, and you do want to let them sit for at least 24 hours. So what I did is I got a jar that I had done yesterday so that we could have a taste test out of it. Also, be sure you check all of these jars to make sure that they have sealed properly, which we did. Now, my grandkids and cameraman absolutely love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Has to be Skippy, has to be strawberry. Nothing else will do. So this is for cameraman. Now, I just like the taste of the jelly. So for me, it's just jam. Nothing else. I don't want butter. And usually I will do this on bread that I have made, except I ran out of bread that I had made, which means tomorrow I'll be making bread. So right now it's just store-bought bread. It doesn't matter because this is going to be absolutely perfect. So here goes. Oh yeah, that'll work. I think you'll love it. Give it a shot. So easy to do. Right now, strawberries are in season, so enjoy. Hope you have fun making it and hope your family loves it. Thank you for coming. Bye.